Hello, fourth graders. So I want you to think about last week whenever we went through and did a picture walk of expository nonfiction books. Do you remember that? Maybe to jog your memory, you want to look back at your reader's notebook and remember that page that we did right there where we did a picture walk. And the book was about bees and making honey. Do you remember that? So something that I thought was so cool was that while we were doing our picture walks, even though we were just supposed to be looking at the pictures, we couldn't help but also look at the labels and the captions that went along with the pictures, because without them, the pictures just wouldn't make any sense and we wouldn't be sure about why they were on the page. So today we're going to think about those labels and captions, and we're going to think about how authors use them to help us understand why an image is on the page. So we are going to think about labels and captions. We're going to turn to our next blank page in our reader's notebook, and we are going to be thinking today about labels and captions. So make this the title of your page and do whatever fancy thing you like to do to show that it is your title of your sketchnoting page. You know, Miss Aurelia likes to use the thought bubble. So there we go, labels and captions. And then we're going to write the title of our book. And whenever you're writing the title of a book, you always underline it. And that helps tell you that it's the title of a book. So I wrote Hummingbirds. No, it's Hummingbirds. And I underlined that. Sorry about this. There we go. Now it's focused. Hummingbirds. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you and share today's book. So it is right there, Hummingbirds. And we are going to use what we have learned about expository nonfiction. And we have learned that looking at the cover, which shows us that this is about hummingbirds, and we read the book description to know what the book will be about. Hummingbirds by Kristen Pettery. Check out The Hovering Hummingbird. As part of the Backyard Animals series, this book introduces the unique features of this wild animal. Okay, so something that I want us to do to start thinking about labels and captions, the first thing is I want you to go ahead and draw a sketch note of this little hummingbird right there. So we're just going to do a quick sketch note of the hummingbird. I'm going to start with its beak. It's kind of got a long beak like that for getting the flowers. And I'm going to draw its head. And its body is shaped kind of different than other birds. Its body is like that. And like that. And then it's got these really big wings like that. Put the eye in. All right. So I've got a quick sketch note of my hummingbird. Now that you have your sketch note of the hummingbird, go ahead and add some labels to it. What are labels? Let's see if we can think about that. What do labels look like? We've used them in our sketchnoting before. What labels could we add to this picture of the hummingbird? Yeah, so we could label its beak. So I'm going to put label on top of it so I remember that it's a label, because my sketchnoting page is about labels and captions. So I'm going to write label, and then I'm going to write the label. Beak. Let's label the other parts, and let's put that they're labels too so we remember why we're doing this, because what our page is about. Label. What is that part that I'm labeling right now? What does that arrow point to? The wings. Something I'm already noticing about labels is that they usually have like an arrow or a line to show us which part they're talking about. So label a couple more parts of your hummingbird. And now that you have your hummingbird drawn, let's write a caption for our hummingbird. So I'm going to write caption. So I remember why I'm doing this. Then I want you to go ahead and write a caption for it. I'm going to pull mine back for a second so that I can write my caption. Now, sometimes captions are really fancy and they give us a lot of technical information about what the image is for. But sometimes they're really simple, like this, like the one that I wrote. My caption is, "This is a hummingbird." I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. I want you to take a second and make sure that you have some labels and that you labeled them label. Isn't that kind of funny, labeling our labels? And then make sure that you have a caption. My caption is, "This is a hummingbird." Maybe you wrote something different. So next I'm going to show us a little bit of the book, but while we are looking at the book, we're going to look at examples of labels and captions in the book. And on this other page, I want you to write label and caption. And we're going to write some sentences that we are going to finish. We're going to write, "The job of a label and the job of a caption." We're going to think about how we could finish these sentences. How could we finish the sentence, "The job of a label and the job of a caption"? So we're going to think about what is the job of a label and what is the job of a caption. So I'm going to share my screen again with the book. And we're going to look at this first page here. Right away, oh, do you notice anything? Do you have a connection to this page? This is the table of contents that we learned about yesterday. So this gives us an idea of what the headings in the book will be and what page we will find them on. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's look on this first page here. Is there any labels? Is there a caption? I guess I can think. Yes, so we have a caption here. It says, "A male calliope hummingbird has bright feathers at its throat." And then I notice that that connects to the picture because I see that it does have bright feathers at its throat. Are there any labels? No, there aren't any labels on this one. Sometimes we have labels and sometimes we don't. If I were writing this expository nonfiction book, I might write a label for where its feathers are on its throat. Let's keep looking. Oh, does this one, do you see any labels or captions? We have another caption right here. "The rufous hummingbird migrates further than any other hummingbird in North America." There's another page with some more captions. "The red-billed summertail is native to Jamaica, and the violet-tailed sylph lives in Ecuador and Colombia." So this is about the habitat. This page is all about the habitat. How do I know that without even reading the words? We know it's about the habitat because that is our heading. Do both of our pictures and the captions have to do with that heading? Yeah, they're telling us where the habitat of these two hummingbirds is. So that tells me that we might be figuring out what the job of a caption is. What do you think the job of a caption is? The job of a caption I'm noticing is the job of a caption is to tell the reader why an image is on the page. Do both of these captions do that? They're telling us if these pictures were just there on their own and there weren't any caption, we'd be like, huh? I know that these are hummingbirds, but what do they have to do with the hummingbird's habitat? These captions tell us why these pictures, what they have to do with the habitat. Let's go on to another page. We see another caption here. Let's keep looking. So this page, the heading is "Flying Jewels." And this page also has a picture with a caption. "The bee hummingbird is the smallest bird in the world. It is found in Cuba and on several other nearby islands. All right, let's look at this page. Do you notice anything about this page? Yes, we have a picture with labels, or we have a picture first on this side with captions first, like we've been seeing on the other page. And then we have a picture with labels. This reminds me of the hummingbird that we drew and labeled. So what is the job of the labels in this page? Let's finish our sentence here. What is the job of the labels? Yeah, the job of labels is to name parts of the image. Do these labels do that? Do they name the parts of the image? Yeah, we can see the eye. We see the line is telling us the eye, just like we drew arrows on ours, and the bill. So we wrote beak on ours. Maybe because of this, I might go back and change mine or add on that it's also called its bill. And we've got its feet tucked in and a tail. All right, so make sure that you in your sketchnoting have a sketch note where you have labels and a caption, and that you have explained what you think the job of labels and the job of a caption is. Readers, now it's time for you to do some reading and investigating on your own. You are going to find in your Oregon Flora and Fauna collection, you're going to find that there are images in every book that has been assigned to you, which is so cool about expository nonfiction. There's so many pictures and they help us to learn so much, but we really have to use the labels and the captions to figure out why the image is included in the page and what it can do to help us learn. So while you are looking at your Oregon Flora and Fauna collection today, I want you to keep thinking about this, and I want you to keep sketchnoting, and maybe today focus your sketchnoting on the images that you're seeing and how they help you to learn about your topic. All right, readers, great job. We have learned so much about expository nonfiction and so many ways that it helps us learn, and I'm so excited to just keep doing that as we keep learning more and more. Great job. Bye.